Hey YouTube, it's Super Urbo here again, fighting a good fight. Today I'm bringing you an Infinite Warfare gameplay. A couple videos here. This one is a really quick 7 rapid kill clip here that I got on this new solar powered raw. I think it's called the solar power, whatever it is. It's the variant which allows you to get nukes, and on core game modes to get 7 rapid kills is pretty challenging on TDM because there's only 6 opponents max. So to get 7 rapid kills you need someone to at least respawn again, and so I was pretty fortunate to get that. This gameplay here you're going to see is with the RPR EVO Fission, and it is the RPR EVO variant which allows you to get nukes. And I wanted to show off this gameplay. This is not a great gun by any stretch of the imagination. I actually don't really care to run this gun, but I really wanted to get a nuke with it, and so I've been trying and finally got one, so I thought I'd load this video for you guys to see. The other reason I wanted to show you this gameplay was to show off the fact that I have now got myself a scuf controller, and you're going to see in this gameplay it's very, very obvious that I do have a scuf because of the aggressive style in which I play. Even right here, I would never be able to do that, and I guess some people can play the claw style. I do not have the ability to do that. But with a scuf controller, you're able to just move so aggressively, like here again, just hopping right over him. You're going to see probably, I don't know, maybe 5 or so times I probably prevent myself from dying solely because I had a scuf controller. So it definitely helps. I probably was worse of a player before I got better, just because when you're playing this style, you can get over aggressive, I guess, and if you're not really sure where to do the wall runs, where to get aggressive, when not to, you could probably end up playing worse. Plus, I'm not used to not keeping my thumbs off the joysticks, or I'm not used to keeping them on there all the time and using different buttons. So for a while I was having a hard time remembering which button did what. And here's another example of somehow jumping right in the middle of 2 people, but because I had a scuf I was able to maneuver around them. And so when you're activating your payload, like in this case I have active camo, a couple times I was having a hard time even remembering which 2 buttons to hit to activate that, which seems silly because it's just the same 2 that it's always been. But now that I have 2 or a few different buttons on the back of my controller, now it's harder for me to remember which ones to do because I'm always hitting different buttons now. So it's definitely a lot different and kind of tricky if you're not used to it. By the time I got this gameplay, I'd say I was feeling pretty used to it. You can see a lot of movement on the walls. This map in particular, there's a lot of walls to hit, and you can play well above your enemies, again giving you an advantage, and people just don't expect you to be as high up. I mean, this is a pretty common wall run spot, I guess, but most people don't expect someone going up so high on the wall all the time. So definitely gives you an advantage over anyone. Usually you can hop around and get the drop on someone, and even if you only get half of a second advantage in a game like this, that a lot of times can be the difference between life or death. So again, I can't say how much this scuf is going to make my game better. Right now I'd say it's probably just marginally better because I'm not quite used to the buttons on the back and adjusting my hands to do everything you need it to do. But I'm certainly figuring it out, and I assume that once I play enough games and the buttons are kind of muscle memory and I can remember them easily, I'm sure this will be well better than a typical controller. Here you're going to see how I do stop for a split second, as I think I kind of forget what buttons I'm supposed to be using. to activate the payload like I was talking about, but I am starting to get better here. Again, I'm popping up and around. He's on a head glitch, but because I can pop up higher, there's more of the person to see. Here I see a person lying down, so I can pop up as opposed to the side in his line of sight where he's probably expecting me to go. Again, you cannot do that unless you have a scuf. You know, aggressively you can't do it. I mean, you could still pop up and around, but it's going to take time. So by the time you reposition your thumb onto your joystick, the time you gained by popping up is kind of lost anyways. So I can't say enough the amount of times this scuf has saved me. Here again, I pop up and around. This guy misses every single shot, even though I was weak. Again, it was because I had a scuf. I was able to jump up and around and have my thumbs on the sticks there, so that when I did pop up and around, there was no adjustment needed. I can quickly attack very aggressively. And again, that's just the advantage of having the scuf controller. I guess what I haven't mentioned yet is that this particular scuf is one of the newer ones that they have brought out now. It's the scuf Impact, and it's the one that has 4 buttons on the back of the controller. It comes standard, the 4 buttons, and the controller's a little bit bigger as well. Here you see me again challenging a guy up here. I go up and I'm able to keep on keeping my joystick towards him because I've got a scuf there, and again I don't need to take my thumbs off the sticks as I challenge that. With the Impact and the 4 buttons there, I wanted to have a lot of options. Now that I've been playing it for a few games, I've come to notice that every now and again I was starting to bump the second button on the back with my finger, and it's just going to be a matter of getting my positioning right. But for now, I've actually removed one of the buttons because I think it was the reload button, and every now and again while I was jumping around, I'd accidentally hit the reload button and then get myself in trouble doing that. So it's definitely been a pleasure to play and to learn a new system. And again, like I was saying, as I keep playing, I'm sure I'm just going to get better and better, and getting worse before you're getting better will be less of a factor. And, I kind of finished this gameplay with one final wall run here, and again you can see me just challenging pretty aggressively up on the wall. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and that brings me to the end of this one, my friends. So keep fighting the good fight of faith, hold true to God's calling on your life, and I'll see you next time.
Good job. Report to command for debrief.